Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
It's your Daily Planet for Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. I'm Jimmy Olsen. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is part of a group who just bought the XFL for $15 million. The league declared bankruptcy back in April, and the deal will not be final until it's approved by the bankruptcy court. The Dallas Cowboys are number one on a new list of the world's most valuable sports teams. Now, the New York Yankees are next, followed by the New York Knicks, and then the LA Lakers. You watch your favorite TV show and there was maybe a storyline that was unnecessary? Well, there's a list of TV storylines that were unnecessary, which included Rachel and Joey's romance on Friends, Jim and Pam having marital problems on The Office, and Quinn ending up in a wheelchair on Glee. Taylor Swift's Cardigan tops the Hot 100, making Taylor the first artist to debut at number one on both the Hot 100 and the Billboard 200 in the same week. I guess Luke Bryan and his wife have been playing pranks on each other since college. In fact, they've done so many, it's getting hard to come up with new ones, and it's giving his wife prank anxiety. Here are a few random facts for your Tuesday. The Atlantic Ocean is much saltier than the Pacific. Now, this is going to help you the next time you play trivia, right? The first department store, Santa, was in Brockton, Massachusetts in 1890. The day Heath Ledger died in 2008, Heath Ledger was the number one term searched on Google. The number two most searched term, Keith Ledger. The first song ever played on the radio was "Oh Holy Night" on Christmas Eve in 1906. Mozambique is worth the most points in Scrabble of any country at 32 points, at least if you would be allowed to use country names when you play the game. Kyrgyzstan would be the second at 30 points. Did you know listening to the radio is one of the top little things people look forward to? In fact, watching TV at night, that actually came in at number one. Going to sleep, number two. Eating dinner at number three, still in that top five. Getting into bed with fresh sheets. Sitting down and having some peace and quiet, that rounds out the top five. As we go into that top 10, putting your feet up after a long day, going for a walk. Coffee at number 8. A new episode of a good TV show. And then, of course, lounging outside. So did you know that the millennials are now the majority of the U.S. population? Yeah, majority of the U.S. population now under 40. Hershey's Kisses coming out with a new flavor for Christmas, sugar cookies. Did you get your chocolate chip cookie today? It is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day today. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. You are sharing your birthday with Colin Dylan Sprouse, 28, who plays Jughead on Riverdale. Chet Hanks is 30. Tom Parker is 32. Meghan Markle, 39. Abigail Spencer is 39. Jeff Gordon, 49. Daniel Day Kim is 52. Roger Clemens, 58. Barack Obama, 59. Billy Bob Thornton, 65. Richard Belzer, stand-up comedian and played Detective John Munch on Law & Order SVU and Homicide, Life in the Street. He's 76. It was on this date in 1735 that New York publisher John Peter Zenger was acquitted of libel. The jury had determined the truth is not libelous, thus establishing freedom of the press in America. So on this date in 1790, the present-day Coast Guard began as the Revenue Cutter Service. So on this date in 1892, Sunday school teacher Lizzie Borden murdered her father and stepmother with a hatchet. She was arrested, but later acquitted. It was on this date in 1914, the British declared war on Germany while the United States proclaimed its neutrality. This date in 1922, AT&T and the Bell System shut down all their switchboards in memory of Alexander Graham Bell, who had died 2 days earlier. All 13 million telephones in the U.S. and Canada were absolutely dead for 1 minute in his honor. This date, 1944, the Gestapo raided the secret annex of a house in Amsterdam where the Frank family had been hiding for 2 years to avoid extermination by the Nazis during World War II. They captured 8 people, including 14-year-old Anne Frank. It was on this date, 1987, the soundtrack to Dirty Dancing was released. So on this date, 1987, the FCC voted 4-0 to rescind the Fairness Doctrine, which required radio and television stations to present balanced coverage of controversial issues. It was on this date in 1997, the world's oldest person, 122-year-old Jean Calment, died in a retirement home in Arles, France. And this date in 2007, Barry Bonds hit his 755th home run to tie Hank Aaron's home run record. He broke the record 3 days later, and it is his 756th ball that is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Bonds retired with 762 career home runs. And that's the Daily Planet for Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. I'm Jimmy Olsen. Be sure to follow along for these stories and many more on my social media, My Buddy Jimmy, on Facebook and on Twitter. You can also subscribe to my YouTube page, My Buddy Jimmy 101, to follow this podcast and many more. You can also hear this podcast on Spotify and where you find your favorite podcast, as well as subscribing through Google Play and the Apple Podcast.